How's it going, lads? How's your day getting on? Today we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1104 because, my god, it just the Oda just can't miss ever since Wano ended, bro. Every single chapter's a banger. It really is. I mean, in recent weeks, Oda's just been on a high, and I say this every other week. Like, honestly, the worst chapter he has brought out recently has been the 1-0 Awakening chapter for Law and Kid. Like every other chapter was was fantastic. Probably besides the Kaido flashback for a lot of people. Although I have warmed to it over the years, but we'll talk over the months. We'll talk about that some other time. But into 1004 we go. What a fantastic way to start the chapter with the Kuma smash to the head of Saturn. It was so fun to see that. And the he Oda gave a lot of time to it. Actually, let me double check before I start saying shit. I went out of it, but I'm pretty sure it was like a double page spread in it. I think he cut it off to show his face, and then like 3/3 of the second page was the punch, and it was so clean, bro. It was such a clean slam. You felt it, you felt it looking at it, and I can't wait to see the anime get to that. I hope it gives it a lot of impact, and I can't imagine what it could be like. Like, I'm obviously hoping for a Luffy punching Celestial Dragon style of punch and just kind of the power behind it. But it felt next level, and I love that, especially to do that in a manga is crazy. And we got the resolution to everything in Kuma and Bonnie's arc. They got to meet. Bonney got to say what you wanted to say to him. And it was great, we got that, and hopefully we get slightly more. I do think Kuma's going to go by the end of this arc, unfortunately. I hope he doesn't die. I actually hope he doesn't. Ideally, I just hope they get their happy ending, because it happened with Rebecca and Kuros? I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've been reading the manga recently, so my pronunciations aren't going to be great. But yeah, it happened with them. I'm hoping it happens with Kuma and Bonney. I could see it not happening, so Dragon can get his moment. And it looks like St. J. Garcia is going to be a punching bag this arc. Because he can heal, we're going to have the excuse that you can just batter him around. So Kuma got his chance to batter him. Bonnie's probably going to get a chance to batter him at some stage. Luffy's obviously going to get a chance to batter him. And Kizaru is going to fight Frankie, which is weird. Frankie and Sanji, it looks like he's going to fight. Oh, I think that's really cool, to be honest, because Frankie does seem like a very strong combatant, and he's been showing some really good upgrades recently, and we get to see those post 1-0 capabilities. I think Frankie's a really underrated combatant. He's fought a lot of strong characters. He's another fighting character that we see a lot of. But I also think, right, him fighting an Admiral with Sanji's cool as well. I would have preferred it to be Zoro and Sanji. I still want that duo fight, which I never think we're going to get. Man, I remember when, what was it, Opening 23 came out, and they had Zoro and Sanji leaping together. I was like, bro, are they going to fight King and Queen in a tag team? That was my dream. Honestly, that was my dream fight, was King and Queen versus Zoro and Sanji in the same area. So we'd be getting like them switching between opponents to match different weaknesses and shit. I was looking forward to that. And I was hoping with that with Kizaru, because having the two commanders fight an Admiral would show the power of an Admiral. Like, you need two, like, arguably low tier Yonko level combatants to fight against an Admiral. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that'd be great. Now, not to say Kizaru hasn't been doing well, because honestly, Kizaru is slowly becoming my favorite of the original three Admirals with this arc alone. Like, just the way he acts, bro. Because he's more, like, he has character to him, but he's like, bro, I need to do my job. Like, he's more of an evil Garp. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, he's a good dude, but at the same time, if you're not signing his checks, he's not helping you out. But he has that emotion to him, and I like that about him. And he's just kind of like, look, gotta get my job done. I know I'm not a great fella, but hey, it pays well. Do you know what I mean? He even said in this chapter, "Oh, I should have brought darker shades." I can't do the look. It does not work. I need to buy shades when I'm talking about Kizaru. I'll get me granddad shades out. Here we go. Oh, where would I have put them? Actually, I'll have a look for them for the next chapter review if Kizaru shows up again. But man, it was I just love the setup for the fights because Egghead seems to be flowing so well. I read through the first quarter of it there before the full of that portion of the arc there recently. I've just been flicking through different parts of arcs and things like that. I went through Haikyuu recently, and I went through the whole thing again. Absolutely loved it. We'll talk about that in this same session, but it'll be separate videos, of course. And I'm still going through Dressrosa. I'm at the Corazon flashback. So like I'm really enjoying the manga right now, and I'm going through Egghead bit by bit, and the anime in Egghead's been really good so far, but we haven't got to anything really good yet. I can't wait to see what happens, and the fact that we're setting up these fights and these moments with Jay Garcia, to have him be such a despicable and like despicable character, someone you want to just see suffer in every way imaginable. It's good to have a villain like that because with like even with Doflamingo, right? You hated Doflamingo, but he was charismatic. Do you know what I mean? You liked him. You liked him as a character, but you hate Jay Garcia. Do you know? Even Kaido was charismatic. You kind of liked Kaido. He was cool, man. Kaido was cool. Like everyone was hyped up about his backstory, his relation to Rocks. You know, his relation to the Big Mom, his relation to Whitebeard. You know, all this different stuff. His fight with Shanks. He was like, Kaido's cool. Look at how cool Kaido is. He's an arsehole, but he's also cool, right? But Jay Garcia gives that complete, oh, I just want like dickhead energy, you know, someone you want to absolutely batter, like that way. And it's just cool to see because he's a proper villain, you know, he's like the Joker or something like that. He's just proper evil. And we haven't got that in One Piece for a while. A lot of the villains have been very charismatic, and some of them have had a sympathetic side to them. So it's good to see a proper evil character that you just want to see get battered, which is great for an arc like this where I think Dragon showed up to batter him. We might even get Blackbeard showing up, and hell, Luffy's gonna batter him as well. I do, like, part of me hopes for a lot of things. I have a lot of theories on what's gonna happen to Jay, which I've talked about before, but I'm not gonna talk about it right now because I've talked about it before. Might talk about it near the end, but we're gonna move on. Because we do see Kuma gets taken away to the lab by Atlas, which I think might be... I think this is going to be very interesting because we get to see, you know, him hopefully come back temporarily to actually see Nika and to have an interaction with Dragon. But I don't think he's going to stick around. I do think it might be a thing where his consciousness is chained to that robot at some stage. I do think that robot has to play some importance. We haven't seen him in a couple of chapters since Luffy went Nika for the second time in the arc. So I do want to see it happen. I saw a single thumbnail from the Library of Ohara Arthur, which was like, oh, Joy Boy. I didn't watch the video just yet. I haven't been watched later. But I'm not going to talk about that. But I do. I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is going to... I think the robot is mainly just there to be a way to get Kuma back into the story, because it's like, okay, his soul is sort of damaged, but you can repair. I don't know, repair it. Look, it's been a lot of technology voodoo recently, so I'm just gonna roll with this, okay? And I'm hoping Punk Records plays a role in it, you know, has some sort of Kuma's memories, because I want Kuma in that story, man. I want things to work out well for him. He's like one of the best characters in the show. But I also want more Whitebeard, man. You're going to tease me with a Whitebeard flashback earlier on in the arc, like a Rocks flashback with Whitebeard, and I don't get him again. I need Whitebeard back in the story, man. The more I see Kuma, the more he's like, all his stuff about family and all this and how great of a guy he is. It's like, I just want to see Whitebeard again, man. Bro, I love Whitebeard so much. There was not even a mention of him in this chapter, and I was thinking of him while reading it, bro. I need Whitebeard in this story again. No, it's fantastic though. I do think Kizaru is great and just fun to watch, and everything he does is just fun and entertaining. Which I can't say, like, honestly, the fight with Garp made me dislike Aokiji more. Which is weird, because Aokiji was my favorite original admiral for a very long time in this story. Up until recently. Because I liked Aokiji, but I just think he wasn't what I was expecting him to be. Do you know what I mean? And I don't understand what's going on with him. I don't understand his motivation or anything. And it didn't seem to match up with, like, not to say I wanted to match up with my theories, but it didn't seem to match up with any idea of what he could be besides being a pure Blackbeard guy. You know, a guy who actually agrees with Blackbeard. Like, what's his motivations here? I don't know. I don't see what it could be and how it could align with what he was before. I do think we have to see that fight with him and Sakazuki, because right now Sakazuki is obviously, you want to see a lot from him. You know, Akainu's been that way. He's one of those people I don't want to sympathize with. I really don't want to sympathize with Akainu. It could be I can sympathize with Emu or Blackbeard all day, but I just want Akainu to be an evil bastard just like Saturn. So I can just see him get his head kicked in by Luffy and Sabo and be happy out with it. Do you know what I mean? So he does his job well. He does what I want him to do well, right? Aokiji has always been interesting. I love his design. I love his character. I love everything about him. But I just got perplexed during the Scarp section because I was like, you seem like you're trying to hide something, but at the same time, have you just turned like so against the Navy that you've turned evil? Like, is that what it's gonna be? Because I thought he was a part of Sword. He's obviously not. So there's more to it that I want to see, and I want to see what Aokiji's gonna turn into, right? But Kizaru right now is just so fun, right? I love Fujitora. You know, Fujitora is great, but I still rank the 3 original admirals over any of the new ones. And Kizaru is really getting up there for me. He probably is currently my favorite admiral because he's just so fun to watch. Every time Oda draws him in this new arc, he's just incredibly fun. All his movements, all his dialogue. It's just entertaining to watch him be like, well, I gotta get it done, don't I? There's nothing I can really do. Like, I gotta do a job, you know? There's no, like, he's one of the only characters in One Piece with no passion, but he's like, you still feel a bit of passion in him, which is weird. It's a weird dichotomy in character, and I'm really excited. I really just want to see more of him. Let's be real. I'm talking, like, the main part of this chapter was the introduction of a new Buster Call, basically. So we're gonna get a repeat of Ohara, which I think is a good way to for it to lead into, you know, kind of a shadowing of Ohara, or like a contrast to Ohara, where Ohara ended negatively with the whole island up in flames, where the end of this arc is probably going to be the opposite, where they end up saving the island, or the island itself ends up in flames, but all the civilians get off it and everyone's safe. You know, the actual important thing about the island, its people, and the information on it are going to be saved. And then we lead into Elbath, which has Saul, to kind of tie it all together. We might even get a bit more of Robin. I can never complain about some Robin scenes. You know, she's probably my favorite female on the Straw Hats. That's not hard. There's only 2 of them, but you know what I mean, right? Like, Robin has been one of my top 5 favorite characters since her flashback, and she hasn't done much. That Black Maria fight was so good, and I really liked her new transformation. We did not get it in Bounty Rush, so I was a bit sad. Bro, we're getting a Prime Whitebeard in Bounty Rush, so I'm happy out right now. Alright, look, it's an addiction. I can't help it, right? I can't help it. I love that game, even though I hate it at the same time. But no, Robin is just a character I like her power set. I like her backstory. It was one of those backstories in One Piece where I was like, actually started like crying a little bit when watching it. You know, her bit with her mother where she's like crying and she's like, I can read the poneglyphs too, and it's like all the emotions, man. It builds up, bro. And I like that, you know, with Nami's backstory, although I love it, man, I don't know. Robin just hits different. So I like stuff with Robin in it. I wish she had more to do and she was a stronger opponent. Had stronger opponents so she could be more of a badass. Like, it'd be cool if she was on Sanji's level, or if she was on that combat level with Jinbei and Sanji. I don't know. I just want a really likable female character to be busted as all hell. I know for a lot of people that's Boa. I'm not the biggest fan of Boa, to be honest with you. And Big Mom, although I do like her character, wanna really, really hurt my enjoyment of Big Mom. So I just want Robin to get that respect as a combatant and as a character. Like, the fact Oda wouldn't give her that 1 billion just annoys me, man. 930 million, was it? Was that her bounty after Wano? Bro, like, she needs more respect, bro. Honestly, she should be like Mihawk with a bigger bounty than Luffy because of the information she holds, man. I'm a big Robin, like, Robin needs to be like OP. You know what I mean? I understand like hands, making hands is not a really powerful ability, but man, I need to see that. Plus, her being strong would be real revolutionary, like, stocks, because it'd be like, oh, look, she was trained by Sabo and Dragon, and look how strong she is. Do you know what I mean? To kind of bring that up, but they just didn't do it. You could try and make Dragon seem strong by making Robin strong in that regard. I don't know. Look, Dragon Cooper, Robin Cooper, and Kizaru Lover right here. Okay, it's how we go. What can I say? But there's just so much I'm excited for, and how they get out of Egghead and what happens here. I'm really looking forward to. And also, it's a real short arc as well. It's only going to be like a year long. Oda said it's going to end this year. So a year and a bit long, maybe 2 years long. A nice short arc with fantastic scenes, some of the best scenes in the series. Like, Egghead might be people's favorite arc by the end of it, and I'm hyping it up a bit. Like, I don't think it will pass mine. Unless Whitebeard shows. Okay, enough talking about Whitebeard. Why am I so hyped about Whitebeard right now? But that's my point. This arc has been fantastic. And I talk about this every review near the end of it because I just want to reiterate how fantastic it is. One Piece has been a joy to watch and read every single week. Man, I love my Sunday mornings these days when I sit down with my cheese toast and my cup of tea and watch myself a One Piece episode and reread the chapter, bro. I know it's a bit late this week, my discussion on the chapter, and I'll have a discussion on the Monster when I get to watching it as well. Monsters when I get to watching it. I've just been busy. Restarting college now, boys. So we have a new system for 2024, what I'm going to be doing with my videos and stuff. I'm migrating everything back to the one channel. So we're going to have other content, gaming, and other stuff I want to talk about on this channel as well. Because I just want to migrate it, to be honest. Because I hate having big gaps between all my content because I'm talking about other stuff on other accounts. And then I'm like, oh, well, I have a gap here, so I need to upload it here. And then I'm it was just too much for me and all the different shorts. So if I just combine it all, I can just gradually, potter through it. Because at the end of the day, I don't need to try and maximize everything because I'm just going to have a bit of fun with this. And I want to bring that back to that format that I like. Just sitting here talking about what I like off the cuff, that sort of fun way. And that's what I'm going to try to do 2024 while also balancing my swimming, my fitness for swimming, and my college, and actually being really good at this and hopefully getting a good job. So we're the king of balance this year. We're gonna really focus in on that, and so hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know, and then I guess it was in the coming weeks and months or whatever. But enough of my own personal plans for this year. Let me know what you thought about the chapter below, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And make sure to do something. I don't know. All right. Enough with that. Hope you have a fantastic day. I was going to try and ask a question, but forget that. I'm not about that. Make sure you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time. All right. Goodbye.